Hello everyone and welcome back to more Let's Play Subnautica. So in between videos I went ahead and off screen found that other part of the sea glide from the first video, which was a lot closer. I was pretty much swimming everywhere but to it. So you can see now we can craft the sea glide. To do that, we already have the titanium and battery required. We're going to need some lubricant and copper wire. To make lubricant, if you go up here, you can see that just takes some creepvine seed clusters. Another tool that I neglected to craft in the first video, two I neglected to craft actually, was the habitat builder, which we're going to want. To make that, we will need a computer chip. Now, I believe we already have the components to craft a computer chip. We'll need some more copper wire, but you can see that's why I got that table coral sample in the last video. The gold will also be handy for that. Another tool I neglected to craft is the Pathfinder tool. Basically what this does is you can spit out up to 20 little discs that'll point arrows the direction that you came from. It can be very useful for caves and such. I normally actually don't use it very often, but I might go ahead and craft it anyway. Looks like we'll need some more creepvine seed clusters and copper wire for that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start diving for that. Now, as I said in the last video, and as you're starting to see already, copper is extremely useful for crafting a lot of different things. Oh, there's a crash fish. And as you can see, the doubling back maneuver worked a little better. It looks like actually some of the crash fish have respawned in between recordings, or perhaps that was there already in the last video. Anyway, as I was saying, copper can be very, very useful for crafting many different things. Which is why I said in the first video you're going to want quite a bit of it, actually. In fact, copper is probably the most used resource for many players, myself included, in the entire game. Okay, here's a limestone outcrop. Yeah, these can be kind of hard to spot, but it's worth trying to find as many of these as you can. I'll go ahead and pick up this quartz. And
detecting sulfur deposits in the local cave systems. Sulfur is an essential component of the repair tool.
I thought we already had that bit of dialogue, but maybe we didn't. Okay, here's some more limestone. Now, from what I can observe, just from playing this game, you notice that limestone has a chance to drop both titanium and copper ore. And again, from what I've observed in the game, it typically won't drop 3 in a row of each given kind of material. It typically alternates between the 2 different kinds of materials it can drop. But sometimes it'll do 2 of said material in a row. So it might go 2 titanium and then 2 copper, or it might alternate. Oh, now you can see here, these stalkers, you can see one's actually picking up some metal salvage. This is a thing that they'll actually tend to do. They'll pick up the metal salvage off of the seafloor and drop it into the creepvine clusters here. Again, you want to be a little wary of stalkers. They do bite. Ooh, here's another fragment of the mobile vehicle bay, which will be useful to us relatively shortly here. You can see it's already turning to nighttime, which is a little bit unfortunate timing on my part, but now that we have the flashlight, that won't be as much of an issue. Don't worry, in this part of the ocean, using your light won't attract too much unwanted attention, but you want to be careful in other parts of the ocean when using the flashlight. If you haven't crafted the flashlight yet, you can also use the flares to give off light. But they're only temporary, and if you're going to go ahead and craft those, you might as well just craft the flashlight anyway. So I'm going to keep looking around here for some more copper, and I think once I've got a good bit of it, I'll just go ahead and meet you back at the base. So I will see you on the other side of that. Okay, we're back. Now that I've gotten a little bit more copper, I'm actually going to go in my inventory and show you that I picked up, looks like about 7 more pieces. Also went ahead and picked up a couple pieces of creepvine seed cluster, but you can see now that my inventory is starting to fill up. Now, I kind of neglected to show this off in the first part. Oh, and we can get another first aid kit. We'll grab that in a second here. You do actually have a little bit of storage here. If you look in your storage, you'll find some flares for lighting, as well as some water and nutrient blocks. These are here if you're playing in survival mode, which, as I explained in the first part, I am not playing in survival mode. But if you are, there's a little bit of free food and water to get you started in here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put the fire extinguisher away in here because we won't be needing this for quite some time. You can also put stuff in by simply right-clicking as well. I'm going to go ahead and leave everything else in my inventory for now. Another reason I want to cut back is that I've actually got a new radio message. You can tell by the red light blinking. Also, while I was out, the radio icon actually came up in the top right corner. That's a way that you will know if you have a radio message and you're not in your base. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Receiving pre-recorded distress call laying back.
This is LifePod 3, uploading our coordinates. We're plugging some holes in our emergency sea glide, so if we're late for the rendezvous, don't panic. Also, don't go home without us. Seriously. 3 out.
Signal location uploaded to PDA. Warning. Local radiation readings suggest the Aurora's drive core has reached critical state. Quantum detonation will occur within 2 hours.
Oh, that's not good. But what is good is that some of our other crew members have survived, and you can see they actually added their location to our little HUD here. You can actually toggle your HUD here by going to the beacon manager. You see the life pod will always be on. I recommend always leaving this on, as the life pod will generally spawn in the middle of the world. So this is a good base to have it, base rather, for your directions to have, especially this early in the game when we don't have a compass. It's a nice way to kind of keep track. Basically, this LifePod's beacon and the Aurora itself are really the only point of references you're going to have for direction. But you can toggle this on and off, and same with the signals here. The signals I usually keep in blue, however the LifePod I usually like to keep in red, just so it stands out against most other things. But as you can see, we picked up a lot more supplies here. So before we head out, I'm going to go ahead and craft some things here. I'm going to start by making some lubricant out of that creepvine seed cluster.
Lubricant is essential in construction of vehicles and power plants.
Yes, lubricant will be used for many different things. I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of copper wires here. I'm actually going to make 3, I think. And then I'll use one of those to make a computer chip. And I believe I have 1 copper left over after that, so I'm actually going to go ahead, exit the escape pod. I'm going to grab an acid mushroom so I can make another battery, as batteries are made from 2 acid mushrooms, which as you can see are pretty abundant here in the coral shallows, as well as 1 copper. You may have noticed I didn't really do a good job of pointing it out, but some of our equipment, such as the scanner and the flashlight, as well as like the repair tool, have percent charges. Once this percent charge runs out, you will need to put a new battery into the tool in order to continue using it, which is why I said in the first video it's a good idea to have plenty of batteries on you early on in the game. So while I'm at it, okay, I don't need an advanced wiring kit just yet. That'll use up my golden computer chip and my wiring kit, all of which I need. So I'm just going to go ahead and make another battery. I'm going to go to basic materials, and I'll go ahead and make some more silicone rubber just to get that creepvine cluster out of my inventory. Looks like I need 1 more creepvine sample to make a fiber mesh. I don't know that we need that just yet, though. You can see, though, here under deployables, we now can make the Sea Glide, which will be very, very useful for exploration. Basically what the Sea Glide does, we'll see actually in a moment.
Exploration range. For your safety, please pack supplies for long journeys and stay within 5 kilometers of the nearest life pod or habitat.
That's actually a very good tip that the PDA just gave.
The Builder tool is designed to construct habitats capable of withstanding extreme environmental conditions.
Okay, now as you can see, we can also make a rebreather now, which will basically shorten the rate at which our oxygen depletes. We're going to need some fiber mesh and a wiring kit in order to make that. So while I'm out going for this distress beacon, I think I'm going to go ahead and grab the materials to make that, or I'm going to try to anyway. Okay, sorry about that cut there. The cat was playing with some of the wires under my desk there. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and... Oh, looks like our Sea Glide actually already got assigned to our little hot menu of tools down there. Our hot keys, rather. Now, one thing I didn't really point out was that the Aurora, it said there was going to be a quantum detonation in 2 hours. And I would like to kind of stick around here for that. But let's go ahead and show off the Sea Glide while we're at it. So as you can see, the Sea Glide allows you to swim much faster. This will make exploration a lot easier. It also gives you a little heads-up display of, like a little mini-map of the area around you, which can be useful. I normally turn it off, though, like so. You can toggle turning it on and off with the by right-clicking. You can see the Sea Glide also comes equipped with a flashlight, which is also very, very useful. So I want to go ahead and start swimming towards this life pod that we got a distress signal from. I'm going to pick up some supplies along the way. Oh, and while I'm out... Oh, it looks like we have another radio signal. Should we go back and get that? We're still pretty close. I think we are going to go back and get that. Did I collect that? I don't think I did. There we go. And I think also while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and put some more supplies away, which I really needed to do anyway, so... although we just left, we're going to go ahead and go back. But as you can see by the little meters icon above our life pod, the Sea Glide is much, much better than just trying to swim out in the open ocean. Okay, let's go ahead and listen to this radio message.
Land pre-recorded distress call.
This is Ozzy from the cafeteria. What the hell, guys? They didn't warn us this might happen. Our pod was almost crushed by the Seamoth Bay on the way down. Now we're hanging on the edge of a cave system, and this grim-looking snake thing's trying to eat through the hull. Come get us already.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
That didn't sound too good. Ozzy sounds like he's in a pickle. But I'm gonna go ahead and put away some of this stuff, as I said. You know what, actually I'm going to make that fiber mesh first, just to kind of lessen the amount of inventory space. Because as you can see, the creepvine clusters take up a lot of inventory, 4 spaces each, but the fiber mesh itself, however, does not. It only takes up a little bit, I think 1 slot. I want to make this glass to kind of get some of this quartz out of our inventory as well. I don't think we'll be needing quartz for much else just yet. Quartz is also fairly easy to come by. Now, if you find you run out of inventory space in your locker storage, you can also make some of these waterproof lockers out of 4 titanium. You'll have to drop them outside of your sea pod in the open, like kind of just in the water, but don't worry, things won't mess with them or move them around. So I'm going to go ahead and put all of my materials away in here, except for my tools, as well as my first aid kits. I like to keep a couple of those on me. Okay. Let's go ahead and dive back in. Gonna head towards Life Pod 3 first. Sorry, Ozzy. But I do want to take care of these in order. Now, if you see my scanner icon popping up, it's because there are things nearby that I haven't scanned yet. I'm not going to stop to scan things a lot, not on screen anyway. I might do it off screen, but I won't be doing that a whole lot early in the LP. So as you can see, these shallow areas actually go on for quite a ways. This is about the area I normally spawn when I'm playing. I think actually, yeah, the first time I ever played, I spawned right above this area, which this is actually a pretty good place to start, especially if you can get next to this really big coral tube right here. You can see there are tons of deposits in here. I'm actually going to start breaking a bunch of these. Yeah, a ton of limestone deposits in this big coral tube. This is where I like to do a lot of my early game grinding, is in this spot in particular. You can see there's a fair bit of quartz around as well. And if we come a little bit further in here, you'll see an opening that leads to some more deposits there. Now, there are a bunch of crash fish in there, so you're going to want to be careful. And before I go in there, I'm going to go ahead and grab some more oxygen real quick. Now, those deposits in there are specifically going to be sandstone, and I need some silver for the wiring kit, so I am going to want to grab those. There is going to be some crash fish as well, however. Okay, we got our silver. And I actually don't see the crash fish. Maybe they just didn't spawn this time? Now, I know I said earlier that the ocean layout is the same every time, and that's generally the case. However, there will be minor differences with certain spawns for creatures as well as deposits. The crash fish might actually be in here, but I'm not going to mess with that because I don't really need to go in there. I don't need that titanium too badly. Titanium, especially from ore deposits, I tend to ignore. Oh.
Emergency.
Let's see if I can get back to the life pod.
Aurora's drive core. The reactor will reach a
Okay, I'm not going to make it, but I do want to see this.
minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh. Wow, that happened right as an eclipse was happening, too. Yeah, sorry I kind of bobbed underwater. I really wanted to be at the life pod so I could be...
New blueprint acquired.
Yeah, I wanted to be at the life pod so I could be standing on top of it so that wouldn't happen.
To your blueprint database.
But we got to see a fair bit of the explosion anyway. And right at the same time as an eclipse was happening, too. That was actually pretty cool. Eclipses will actually be fairly common in this game. As you may have noticed, the moon, or one of the moons, is pretty massive. But you can see we also got the radiation suit. I actually want to go ahead and take a look at what I need in order to craft that. Because that will be very important to have. Okay, fiber mesh and lead, which we have plenty of. Good. So in that case, I'm going to go ahead and get some more creep vine clusters.
Survivor, you have exceeded your weekly exercise quotient by 500%. Data indicates that swimming was your favorite activity.
Ah, how
Be sure
serendipitous.
to vary your routine for uniform muscle development.
Okay, so we got a couple more of that for another fiber mesh. And no, I'm just laughing at that bit of dialogue. I actually forgot about that one. Well, it's a good thing that we were good swimmers, huh? So yeah, the game kind of mentioned it. I kind of let the PDA just talk there, but yeah, if we want to get close to the Aurora now, the radiation is going to be a little bit too high for us, so we're going to want to go ahead and grab a radiation suit before we even attempt to go near it. And we found the life pod. All right, so let's go ahead and... Oh. That doesn't look good. It kind of looks like something tore this open. Surely that doesn't mean anything bad happened to them, right? Well, this PDA is described as abandoned, so...
Integrating new
Ooh, we got something else here, too. A data box? Let's see. Oh, looks like we got data box, or data for the compass,
blueprint acquired.
which will be very handy to have. So yeah, there's going to be more life pods that you'll find throughout the game. Each one of them is going to have a PDA and a data box inside of them. You'll want to try to get both of those if possible. Particularly the data box, as it'll have a new thing for you to craft without having to go and collect fragments for it. The abandoned PDA will add a new log into your PDA that'll have a transcript from the crew that was in there. I'm saying was. Maybe they're still alive? Although it looks like whatever tore into that life pod tore into it pretty good. So I think... Oh, geez, I'm going the wrong way. I'm glad I realized that when I did. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and meet you back on the life pod so we can craft a few more things here. Like the radiation suit, the rebreather, and... Oh, let me go ahead and show... and also look what we need for the compass as well while I'm at it. Looks like we'll need wiring kit and copper wire. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some more copper and silver, and I will meet you back at the life pod. Okay, we are back once again. While I was out, I actually got another... Oops. I got another radio notification, so let's go ahead and play this message as well.
Land pre-recorded distress call.
This is Life Pod 6. I have a passenger on board. Coordinates attached. We've landed a kilometer from the crash site, but there's radiation in between us and the rendezvous. Request immediate assistance. 6 out.
Signal coordinates corrupted. Approximate transmission origin recorded to data bank.
So you see that life pod, due to the radiation, we actually couldn't get exact coordinates of where that one is. So that one we're going to have to kind of hunt around for. In the meantime, though, I went ahead and gathered some more materials. And with that, we are going to go ahead and make the rebreather, the radiation suit, as well as the compass as well. Now let's see, I believe I needed the wiring kit. Ooh, you know what? I didn't realize I took 2 silver. I might not be able to craft the compass just yet. I do want to make the rebreather for sure. Let me see. I'm trying to think. Where is the compass? Yeah, I don't have enough silver to make another wiring kit, so we're going to have to wait on that for just a bit. But that's not too big of a deal. I can go ahead and get that out on my next trip. Let's see. Take another look here. Oh, right. I want to make the suit, the radiation suit. I'll need some more fiber mesh for that, which I think I should have enough. Oh, I guess I don't. Okay, that's actually not a big deal either. So unfortunately, out of that trip, we were only able to get the rebreather. But that's all right. Let's go ahead and... Oh, looks like that's already equipped. So yeah, as I said earlier, the rebreather will allow us to recycle CO2 into more breathable air. Basically, what that means is that our O2 meter is going to count down more slowly now, which will be very nice. It'll still count down in increments of 3, I believe, but it won't count down 1 increment per second. I don't remember what the exact rate is, but... you know, while I'm at it, once again, I'm going to go ahead and grab some more acid mushrooms down here, and I'm going to make some more batteries. You might have noticed that my sea glider, when I came back, was only at 24% battery. And that's actually kind of a lot of the reason why I like to have a lot of batteries, specifically for the sea glider. Because you're going to be using a lot of batteries if you're going to be exploring around with the sea glider, which I do highly recommend. So that should be good. Let me go ahead and dump some stuff off in the storage container. Ooh, you can see my storage container is actually getting really full too. Let's see. Did I only make 1 battery? No, I made 2. Oh, I used 1 to make the sea glide. That's where that missing 1 went. I'm gonna go ahead and put this lead away. Put this gold away. Okay, I only need 1 more silver, so that's good. I'll keep the copper on me. I'll put some of this cave sulfur away too. I picked some more of that up. Looks like we can get another med kit. So now I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go to yeah, Life Pod 17, which I believe will take us to a biome we haven't seen yet. I actually went there off screen when I was gathering materials. We'll go ahead and turn the light off to save some battery. I did go out here when I was gathering materials, but I believe that'll be off screen. So this will be our first official venture out to this biome here. Now you can see I'm heading more towards open ocean. And you can tell I'm in a new biome when you start to see this red seagrass here. Now that guy there is a sand shark, I believe. And they mostly... Whoop, easy now. They're not too harmful. They mostly just play around in the sand. They're really more like puppies, more than anything else. I know they're not cute like puppies, but they won't do you too much harm. They might kind of swim at you out of curiosity. Ooh, you might have heard that sound, that deep groaning sound. Let's see if we can find... Okay, here's the source of that. This is a reefback leviathan, our first leviathan-class organism in the game. This is actually a baby one right here. These guys are... big and make you know, those deep sounds. Here's an adult one. Let's grab some oxygen before we check him out. Now, despite being the first Leviathan we've encountered, these guys are actually harmless. They're really more akin to like humpback whales. They are massive, but they won't do any harm to you. You can swim right up to them and they won't mess with you. On the backs of them, there are actually some deposits you can break that have a chance of breaking into gold or silver, I believe. You'll want to watch out, though, because sometimes on the back you'll also see tiger plants growing out of them. I don't see any on this one. Maybe on this one here we'll see some. Let's see. Oh, here's the deposit you can get. Oh, wait, nope, that's writhing weed. Here's the deposit you can get on reefbacks. Barnacles. You can break these open, and oh, looks like you can get copper from them. You can also get silver and gold from them as well. Oh, you can also see this one has a... what are these plants called? A brain coral growing on it. Now, these will occasionally spit out bubbles that'll give you, I believe, like 30 seconds? No, it looks like 10 seconds of oxygen. So that's actually pretty nice if you're deep down and you're wanting some more oxygen without going to the surface. You can find some of this brain coral, and you can get some more from that. And I forgot to start my timer, but that's okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go to this Life Pod 17. I think after that we'll call it a video. Now, this was the life pod that the chef was in. You might remember some sea snake thing was attacking his life pod. Let's see if we can help this guy out here. Oh, it's actually startled me a bit. That was a biter. It's kind of hard to see him. Back up, back up. It's kind of hard to see him, but they're basically little piranha plant guys. They won't do you too much harm. Oh, jeez. Will this sand shark leave me alone? Let's grab some oxygen real quick. You might have been able to tell, though, that life pod wasn't in much better shape than the other one we saw was. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, that didn't look too good. And I don't think that sand shark was what, I don't think that little guy could do that much damage to the life pod. You'll also see there's an interesting looking fragment here. We're going to want to go ahead and scan this. This is a sea moth fragment. We're going to be needing 3 of those all together, and we're definitely going to want to pick those up. We'll take the PDA.
Integrating new PDA data.
I didn't see a data box in that one. Maybe this... Oh, come on. This sand shark's getting on my nerves. Yeah, I didn't see a data box in that one. Maybe there's not in this one? I think the sea moth fragment is actually what you kind of get out of that one. And that'll probably be the first sea moth fragment you pick up. We're definitely going to want to pick up 3 of those sea moth fragments, as well as some more mobile vehicle-based fragments. But what exactly is the sea moth, and how will it help us in our adventure? We'll find out next time on more Let's Play Subnautica. This is Hexlex, signing out. Have a good day.